Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Digital Social Science YouTube channel. Let us start social science subject of 10th standard. So, the fourth lesson of a history, that is opposition to British rule in Karnataka. Opposition to British rule in Karnataka. In this unit, you will learn about following concepts: Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, Dondia War, rebellion of Amarasulia, rebellion of Halagali Bedas, Anglo-Indian Wars, rebellion of Kittur, rebellion of Surapura. Prepared by M. Rukhsana, Galib High School, Cantonment, Bellary. We will learn these all concepts with the help of mind map, flow charts, important points with charts, maps and pictures. Let's move with the intro now. The present Karnataka was scattered among various principalities before integration. Before integration, Karnataka was scattered among various principalities. Apart from establishing political supremacy, during the later part of 18th century, the British exploited the people in agriculture and trade in order to protect their own interest. In order to protect their own interest, British exploited the people in agriculture and in trade. These exploitations created insecurities across Karnataka. The local king suffered insecurities. The local king suffered here insecurities. As a result, rebellions against the British happened in most of the Karnataka. In the beginning, the zamindars and kings battled against the British individually without attaining unity among them. Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan put forth a strong opposition to the British by utilizing the strength of their Mysore kingdom. The political developments that emerged during 1761 to 1799 are very important. There was an important opposition mounted against the British rule in India. Let's move with the first concept, that is Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. In the 18th century, in Indian history, is considered as the century of political problems. The 18th century is known as a century of political problems. There are many reasons for this. The death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, in 1707 was the main reason. The death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, in 1707 was the main reason. His death weakened the Mughal empire. As a result, the Mughal lost political control over South India, as a lot of political struggles took place in Carnatic region. Before this, the death of Chikkadevaraja Wadaya in 1707, in 1704, the death of Chikkadevaraja Wadaya in 1704 created the various political challenges in Mysuru state. His death created the problems of succession and administration. Chikkadevaraja Wadaya was died. After that, there are so many problems of succession and administration. All these developments closed the politics of Mysore. Hyder Ali gained prominence in this scenario of uncertainty that clouded over the Mysore and Carnatic region. He joined Mysore army as an ordinary soldier. Hyder Ali joined Mysore army as an ordinary soldier, but was known for his swift political moves. He was closely observing the political developments of Mysore. Hyder Ali was closely observing the political developments of Mysore, and he came into prominence during the siege of Devanahalli and military action against Nizam of Orkut. He won the hearts of soldiers and he became famous as Nawab Hyder Ali in a short time. Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali was known for his innovations in arms usage. With his swift actions, he weakened the power of Dalwai and sidelined the king Krishna Raja Wadayar, and established control over the administration. The Nawab of Orkut, Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad were fighting to establish their The Nawab of Orkut, Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad were fighting to establish their supremacy over each other and also to preserve their political existence. The British and French were attempting to exploit these divisions for their own benefit. Let us know more about the Anglo-Mysore wars that took place during the reigns of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan in this backdrop. First Anglo-Mysore War. This war was started in the year 1767 and ended in the year 1769. The prominence gained by Hyder Ali in the south was not tolerated by the British, Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad. Tolerated by the British, Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad. Hence, the British started devising cunning plans to defeat Hyder Ali, whom they saw as impedance for the expansionist ideas. Though Hyder Ali suffered a lot due to Maratha aggression, he made attempt to have Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad on his sides with little success. The British entered into an agreement with Maratha and the Nizam of Hyderabad against Hyder Ali. A tri-party alliance emerged. The British entered into an agreement with Maratha and Nizam of Hyderabad against whom here? Hyder Ali. A tri-party alliance emerged, but Hyder Ali with manipulative ideas was successful in breaking the alliance. He also created enmity and distrust among Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad and the British. Meanwhile, political disturbance emerged in Orkut. In 1767, Hyder Ali and Nizam of Hyderabad attacked Orkut, but the king of Orkut had an alliance with the British. The king of Orkut had an alliance with the British. The war started with this incident. Which incident here? The king of Orkut had alliance with the British and the war started with this incident. The battles took place in Tiruchinappalli, Thiruvannamalai, Ambur and other places. Hyder Ali organized lightning attacks in these battles. The British military captured a few places. The British military captured here a few places. Hyder Ali suffered few setbacks. The British military from Bombay joined the war. The British military from Bombay joined the war. Hyder Ali considered the war as a challenge to his personal power. What Hyder Ali is considering here? The Hyder Ali considered the war as a challenge to his personal power and continued with the war. His army reached Madras. Whose army here? Hyder Ali's army reached Madras by 1769 and created panic among the British. In the year 1769, created a panic among the British. Inevitably, the British entered an agreement with Hyder Ali through Madras Treaty. Which treaty? Madras Treaty. The first Anglo-Mysore War was here ended by the signing the Madras Treaty. What are the conditions of Madras Treaty here? They promised to return their occupied territories and help each other in case of external attacks. If somebody attacks with the British, then Hyder Ali have to support. And suppose somebody attacked with Hyder Ali, at that time British have to support. These are the conditions of the Madras Treaty. Now, the Second Anglo-Mysore War. The Second Anglo-Mysore War was started in the year 1781 to ended in the year 1784. The political situation in Travancore and Tanjore was the reason behind this war. The Madras Treaty had put the political developments in South India on a temporary hold. The British attempted to break the Madras Treaty when Madhva Rao attacked Srirangapatna with Maratha army. When Madhva Rao attacked Srirangapatna with Maratha army, Hyder Ali expected the British support him as per the Madras Treaty. What happened in the Madras Treaty? Whenever the attack to the British, Hyder Ali have to support. Any other person attack to the Hyder Ali, the British have to support. These are the conditions of the Madras Treaty. But the British was not supported here to Hyder Ali when the Maratha army was attacked to the Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali was expected the British support him as per the Madras Treaty, but the British rejected the request of Hyder Ali and went against the Madras Treaty. Mahe, the French colony, was under the hold of Hyder Ali. The British attacked Mahe and captured it. The French colony, Mahe was the French colony, was under the hold of Hyder Ali. But the British attacked Mahe and captured it. This became the reason for the Second Anglo-Mysore War. The Second Anglo-Mysore War was started in the year 1780. Okay. In the beginning, Hyder Ali gained upper hand. He captured many forts of Karnataka region. Kanchipuram was captured by Hyder Ali here. The Mysore army reached till Coromandel beach. The Mysore army reached till Coromandel beach. The British officer became worried. Hyder Ali attacked Arcot and captured it. He also threatened to attack Wandiwash and Vellore. An army was kept in standby by the British, and it was led by refused to support. An army was kept in standby by the British, and it was led by Sir Ayercourt. He followed Hyder Ali's army till Pondicherry. Who is following here? Sir Ayercourt was followed Hyder Ali's army till Pondicherry. The French refused to support Hyder Ali against the British. Hyder Ali changed this war strategy with this development. Hyder Ali changed his war strategy with this development. He attacked regions under British control and captured a large booty of arms and the wealth. Hyder Ali was defeated in a battle held in Port Norway by the British. This increased the confidence of the British and also changed the direction of the battle. But they suffered financial setbacks in Pulicat and Selangor. Meanwhile, by entering Salbai Agreement, the British were successful in winning over the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to their side. By entering Salbai Agreement, the British were successful in winning over the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to their side. Hyder Ali died due to the illness during the war, but the war was led by his son Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was waging war in Malabar region when Hyder Ali died. The British tried to take advantage of Hyder Ali's death by invading Mangalore and Bidanur. They also tried to instigate the rulers of Calicut and Malabar regions against Tipu Sultan. And Tipu Sultan thought of all these developments. Tipu Sultan thought of all these developments and decided to protect Mangalore and the coastal regions. He defeated the British. Lastly, the Treaty of Mangalore ended the Second Anglo-Mysore War in the year 1784. The Mangalore Peace Treaty's conditions were both the sides agreed on the conditions that they would not support with each other each other's enemies. Let's know about the Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan felt that the British are the major obstacle for his policy of expansion, so he tried to drive them out seriously. These are the Tipu Sultan's dynasty, which green in color. He became the ruler of Mysore after Tipu Sultan's death. He understood the cunning policies of the British and he considered it as his duty to drive the British out of India. What he considered here? He considered it as his duty to drive the British out of India. He waged war against the British throughout the 17 years of rule. He had clearly understood the cunningness, strategies, clever manipulations of the British. He knew that hurting the business interest of the British would weaken the political strength of the British, and he tried to organize the enemies of the British into one group, and he tried to break the monopoly of the British over trade with India. These attempts further angered the British and their enmity with Tipu Sultan grew up. This is a weapon used by the Tipu Sultan, and it is a Tipu Sultan's talwar, and this is a Mysore palace, and it is a samadhi of Tipu Sultan, which it is in Srirangapatna. Let's move now the third Anglo-Mysore War. The policies of Travancore was the main reason for this war. The king of Travancore built a fort in Kochi with the help of the British and captured Ayakota and Kanganur fort from the Dutch. All these were the clear breach of Mangalore Treaty. The British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigul and other regions under the leadership of Madras. Tipu Sultan entered the region of Baramahal and captured Satyamangalam. He later attempted to capture Tiruchinapalli but failed in his attempt. Tipu Sultan later attempted to capture Tiruchinapalli, but Tipu Sultan here failed to attempt. Meanwhile, Lord Cornwallis took over the leadership of the British army, and this changed the course of war. The British army captured Kolar and Hosakote and rushed towards Bangalore under the leadership of Lord Cornwallis. The army captured Bangalore and destroyed the fort. After capturing Bangalore, Lord Cornwallis sought the help of Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to defeat Tipu Sultan. Cornwallis sought the help of Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to defeat the Tipu Sultan. The war took another conclusive turn with the joining of Marathas and Hyderabad force with the British. Marathas captured Savanur, Gajendra Ghat, Lakshmeshwara, Hubli and other places. Who? Marathas. The combined army marched towards Srirangapatnam by capturing fort of in the year 1792. The fort was destroyed during night. Disturbed by these developments, Tipu Sultan tried to enter an agreement with the British. It was inevitable for him. He signed the Treaty of Srirangapatna in the year 1792, which had unfavorable conditions. With the Third Anglo-Mysore War was ended. The British were successful in inserting unfavorable conditions in order to weaken Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was forced to part with half of his kingdom with force by pay 3 crore rupees as war damage fee and had to pledge 2 of his children as a guarantee against the payment. He also forced to release the prisoners of war. The British withdraw the combined army from Srirangapatna. Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. In the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu Sultan took the defeat in the Third Anglo-Mysore War personally. He paid all the dues and got released his children. He also gave away the territory to the British and its allies as agreed. He claimed his right over the Malabar region under the British occupation, but the British refused this argument. Lord Wellesley became the Governor General of India in 1798. The political activities against Tipu Sultan became intensified during this period. Tipu's attempt to form an alliance of local rulers and his closeness with the French angered Lord Wellesley further. Tipu sent an ambassador to France to seek the alliance of French. This enraged the British. They thought that an alliance between France and Tipu Sultan would threaten the existence of British in India. Another treaty containing inhuman and impractical conditions was forced upon Tipu Sultan. Tipu rejected this. His refusal started the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The war started in 1799. The British were able to destroy the strong fort. Tipu died while fighting the British in 1799. With the death of Tipu Sultan, the British were happy as if the whole India came under their rule. Most of the territories under Tipu Sultan's rule was shared among the British, Marathas and Hyderabad Nizam. A small territory was handed over to the royal representative of Mysore Wadayars. This region come to be known as Mysore Princely State. Till now, we discussed the Four Anglo-Mysore War. Now let's start the rebellion in Karnataka. This is the next concept. In this Dandiya War in 1800, many rebellions and protests against the British took place in Karnataka after the death of Tipu Sultan. Many rebellions and protests against the British took place in Karnataka after the death of Tipu Sultan. These were armed rebellions and took place during the first part of 19th century, when it is in 19th century. Among them, the rebellion led by Dandiya War is an important rebellion. Dandiya was born in a Maratha family of Chinnagiri. It is in here. It's here. He was called as the Wag. Why he is called as a Wag? Because Wag means tiger, due to his bravery, boldness. He started his career as a cavalry soldier in Hyder Ali's army and grew to the position of military general. He built his own private army and fought along with Tipu Sultan also. Due to differences with Tipu, he was imprisoned. Who? Dandiya. The British released him from the prison after the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. He built a small army and started his operations. He organized the army with the unhappy soldiers of Tipu's army. And the feudatory rulers who had lost power. He captured Bidanur and Shivamogga forts and made unsuccessful attempt to capture Chitradurga fort. Lord Wellesley tried to check this rebellion. Lord Wellesley checked this rebellion. An attack was organized on Shivamogga Honnalli, Harihara, and other places under the control of Dondia. Dondia lost his base after the capture of Shikaripura. After the capture of Shikaripura, Dondia ran away towards Gutti. Where? In Gutti, which was under the control of Nizam of Hyderabad. Gutti was under the control of Nizam of Hyderabad. When Nizam's army attacked Gutti, Dondia had to run towards the regions of Maratha. The Maratha army attacked him and captured most of his horses, camels, and arms. Who? The Marathas army. In spite of these, he continued his warfare. Many unhappy Palegars encouraged Dondia Wagh. The French at the Mahe of Malabar also extended their support to him. The British army followed him the vast area that included Harihara, Chitradurga, Shikaripura, Savanuru, Ranibinur, Kittur. The British, who took over the Srihatti and killed many followers of Dondia Wagh. The end of Dondia Wagh. Lord Wellesley decided to end the adventures of Dondia Wagh. The British requested the help of local rulers. Dondia had recaptured Shikaripura fort and he was scattered by the British army again. Dondia had recaptured the Shikaripura fort. The British tried to defeat the army of Dondia, which used to move in the area between Tungabhadra and Mallaprabha. They attacked him from all the directions. He was followed by them when he left Raichur. When he was caught in between Maratha army and Nizam's army, the British attacked him near Yellaparavi and killed him at Konagal. With the death of their leader, the followers of Dondia scattered. With the death of their leaders, the followers of Dondia scattered. The British captured a large sketch of arms and animations. The next topic is Rebellion of Kittur. The British brought in many changes in the administration after defeating the Marathas, Tipu and Hyder Ali. Denying the right of adopting children over the throne was one of such rules. The rebellion led by Chennamma, the Queen of Kittur, it is here, the Queen of Kittur, opposing this law is a prominent one. Kittur lies between the Dharwad and Belgaum. After the death of Mallasa Raja, his elder son Shivalinga Rudrasa Raja took over reign of the Kittur. Due to his failing health, who here? Shivalinga Rudrasa Raja. Chennamma had to take care of day-to-day administration. Where? in Kittur. Shivalinga Rudrasaraja supported the British during Maratha War. As a result, the British entered an agreement with Kittur and collected payment from him. This agreement was entered during the time of Thomas Munro. At the time of Thomas Munro. After the death of Shivalinga Rudrasaraja, Channamma adopted a boy named Shivalingappa and started ruling Kittur as a queen regent. Then, Thackeray was the collector and political agent of the British in Dharwad. He sent a report to the governor of Bombay and attempted to take over Kittur kingdom under the doctrine of lapse policy. Already we discussed in the second lesson about the doctrine of lapse policy. He attempted to take over the treasury and fort under his control. Channamma considered war as inevitable. She prepared for the war. Meanwhile, the British also prepared themselves for the war. In the battle, Thackeray was died. Many British were taken as a prisoners of war. The British attacked Kittur again under the leadership of Colonel Dake. The army fought the battle bravely. Channamma attempted to flee from the battlefield, but she was captured by the British army. Channamma and others were imprisoned at Bailahongala Fort. Queen Channamma passed away in the prison and she has renamed an ideal person till today. So, our next topic is Sangoli Rayanna. The name of Sangoli Rayanna has remained famous along with the name of Rani Channamma. Rayanna was a brave soldier. He fought for the independence of Kittur and felt it was his duty to rebuild his motherland. He fought with Rani Channamma and was imprisoned along with her. And he was later released by the British. There are many oral histories about Rayanna. He developed a sense of nationalism and went on organizing an army. He went on organizing secret meetings at sensitive geographical locations. He aimed at looting the treasury and taluk offices of the British. He had an army of 500 men. He became furious with the villagers who were assisting the British army. The British thought that Rayanna was being instigated by Rani Channamma. Hence, they shifted Channamma to Kasugal prison from Bailahongala. The British devised a cunning strategy to capture Rayanna. They encouraged Desais who were opposing Rani Channamma, and Amaldar named Krishna Raya joined hand with them. Thus Rayanna was cunningly captured and brought down to Dharwad. Many of his soldiers surrendered after his arrest. Who? Rayanna. He was declared as an offender and was hanged till death. Many ballads have kept the life and bravery of Rayanna alive till today. So, Our next topic is rebellion of Amarasolya. This rebellion was basically a farmers' rebellion. This rebellion was basically a farmers' rebellion. This rebellion needs to be understood in the backdrop of political situations prevalent in coastal Karnataka and Kodagu regions during 1835 to 37. The British dethroned the rulers of Kodagu, Chikkavira Rajendra of Helleri dynasty in 1834. He was later transferred to Vellore through Bangalore and later to Kashi. This incident created political instability in Kodagu. Swami Aprampura, Kalyana Swami and Putta Basappa organized a rebellion against this. All the three declared that they are part of the Helleri dynasty that ruled Kodagu. Swami Aprampura assumed the leadership of the rebellion. He was captured in 1834 and shifted to Bangalore. Similarly, Kalyana Swami was captured in 1837 and placed in Mysore prison. So, our next topic is Putta Basappa. The people of Lower Kodagu continued the rebellion after the capture of Kalyana Swami. Sulya, Bellare and Puttur, the major places of Kannada region, were part of Amarasolya. It is interesting to note that a farmer named Putta Basappa as Kalyana Swami. It is interesting to note that a farmer named Putta Basappa as Kalyana Swami. This Putta Basappa later printed himself as Swami Aprampura. This also notes the fluid nature of the rebellion. Putta Basappa took over the leadership of the rebellion. The rebellion started in the hilly region. Where? In hilly region. Putta Basappa organized the rebels and calmed down to the people. He declared the tax on tobacco and salt. He declared that tax on tobacco and salt will be withdrawn if the rebel government assumes that the rich farmers, landowners and local chieftains were assured of this move. The capture of the government office in Bellare was the first move in this rebellion. Putta Basappa killed and Amaldhar, who was known for his brutality, further increased the popularity of Putta Basappa. This incident gained more support for the rebellion and the rebellion became more famous. This incident gained more support for the rebellion and the rebellions became more famous. The rebels marched towards Mangalore to capture it. These rebels marched towards Mangalore through Pani Mangaluru and Bantwal. They looted the treasury and prison of Bantwal. The British sent the army of Talacheri, Kannur and Bombay to quell this uprising. On hearing this development, Putta Basappa and his associates fled towards Sulya. The British captured them with the help of people in Kodagu. Putta Basappa, Lakshmappa, Bangarasa, Kedambadi, Ramya Gowda and Kuddemani Appai were hanged till death. Though the rebellion failed, it has an important place in the history of rebellions against the British. This is a history about Putta Basappa. So, our next topic is rebellion of Surapura and Koppal. Surapura is at 50 kilometers from the present day of Yadgiri. This was an important place since the rule of Mughals. During the region of Nizam of Hyderabad and Marathas, it became a vassal state. Later, most of the territory was lost and Surapura remained restricted to a smaller territory during the reign of Venkatappa. It raised a rebellion against the British. Now, about the Venkatappa Nayaka. Venkatappa came to throne after the death of his father Krishna Nayaka. He was born in 1834 and came to throne in an early age. His ascendance to throne was opposed by Krishna Nayaka's brother, Pedda Nayaka. Krishna Nayaka's brother is Pedda Nayaka. This resulted in internal struggles. The British interfered in the affairs of Surapura. In 1842, they appointed Medes Taylor as their political agent and gained proxy power over Surapura. Taylor was a reformist. He developed Surapura princely state. Pedda Nayaka was appointed as the Diwan of the state. Taylor conducted the land survey of the kingdom. The revenue of the state increased due to the measures implemented by Taylor. He took measures to educate Venkatappa Nayaka properly. And he came to power in 1853. Now, the rebellion of Surapura. The British government was observing the various developments of Surapura. In 1857, it came to the notice of government that the representatives of Nana Saheba was present in Surapura. This made the British suspicious of king's intentions. The British appointed an officer named Campbell to report on the various activities of the king. The officer submitted a report to the resident of Hyderabad that the king is involved in misadministration. Venkatappa Nayaka is usually presented as the leader of 1857 revolution in Karnataka by the historians. Venkatappa Nayaka is usually presented as the leader of 1857 revolution in Karnataka by the historians. The British army captured Surapura in the year 1858. The war continued. There are confusions regarding Venkatappa Nayaka's end. So, our next topic is Veerappa of Koppal. Koppal, it is here near Bellary. Koppal rebellion is an important rebellion in the various armed rebellions against the British. Koppal rebellion is an important rebellion in the various armed rebellions against the British. The Koppal and the surrounding areas were under the rule of Nizam of Hyderabad. There were exploitations. These enraged a few zamindars who rebelled against the Nizam. Veerappa is an important person among the rebels. Veerappa, who was a zamindar, rebelled against the British and occupied the fort of Koppal and other forts in the vicinity. Many farmers and zamindars supported after realizing these motives. The British contacted the Nizam and employed their army to defeat Veerappa. Veerappa, who had lesser soldiers, died fighting the army of the British. Veerappa, who had lesser soldiers, died fighting with the army of the British. The British captured back the fort of Koppal, though this rebellion was short-lived one. But Veerappa proved himself to be a good warrior. So, Our last topic is rebellion of Bedas of Hulagali. Hulagali is a small village of Madhukul Taluk of Belgaum district. This was part of the Madhul Principality. In 1857, the British banned the usage of weapons. The Bedas means hunters who always kept guns as part of customs and they were good hunters. They rebelled against the British when they were asked to surrender their firearms. The Bedas of Manturu, Bodani, Alagundi and others joined Hulagali Bedas. The British army entered Hulagali village to suppress the rebellion. They suppressed the Bedas in an inhuman way. Who? The Britishers. All the rebels were hanged till death. Now our lesson is completed. I think you all are understand this lesson. Subscribe this channel for upcoming lessons. Thank you.